Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Clavel, Candelaria, and today I'm going to be talking about multifaceted PR, choosing and guiding career choices. And in order to understand a little bit what I'm going to talk about, I kind of want to give more of a background story about who I am and how I ended up here at Biola. Because really, I shouldn't really be here because this is not where I thought I was going to be. In fact, I actually started my career at New Mexico State University, and I started studying dietetics there. I thought I want to be a dietitian because I loved sports and I loved cooking, and I thought that was a good in-between for the two. So I was studying dietetics, and then within 3 weeks of my freshman year there, I realized that the medical field was not for me. I was not good at chemistry, and you needed to pass 3 chemistries in order to be in the dietetic world, and so I didn't do that, and so within 3 weeks I switched into music, which was actually not really allowed because the add and drop date had already passed, and so the professor there really wanted me in her program since I had been very competitive. I was a classically trained pianist, and I had competed in many competitions, and so she wanted me in her program, and so she got me in, and so I started doing music, and I loved it, but I also knew that there wasn't much of a field in music. So I started taking GE credits my second semester because I was looking into transferring to Biola. And the only reason I came to Biola was because my senior year of high school, I went through some unfortunate events, and I actually fell into depression for about a year. And that first semester I was very unhappy, and my mom asked me if I wanted to go away, and I said yes, but I didn't think it would be possible. But somehow God provided for me, and I came to Biola, and I don't even know why I chose Biola, but I did. And I don't even know why I chose PR, I just went with it. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my career. I was so lost because I thought, dietetics was what I wanted to do, and I couldn't do it. And music I loved, but there wasn't a career in music, and so I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I looked into PR, and I thought, wow, okay, people and writing, I think that's something I'd like to do. I enjoy writing. So I went ahead and did PR, and I came here not knowing a single thing about PR. In fact, I actually learned what PR was in Professor Simon's Intro to PR class, and that's how I came to know more about PR. And so I don't know what I want to do with PR, and this is where I'm at, and I'm about to graduate, and I still don't know what I want to do with PR. And so I want to talk about multifaceted PR, and this has been my journey. I think that multifaceted PR is important because it gives you a perspective in different fields of PR, whether that be sports or fashion or agency work. It gives you different perspectives, and it allows you to be well-rounded. And it also gives you a broader understanding of the industry as a whole. And I think that's really, really important to understand all the different aspects of PR. And it also helps you with choosing and eliminating. So for me, I don't know what I want to do with PR. So doing different internships and trying different fields, it has allowed me to see what I like and what I don't like about the industry of PR, which one maybe I want to go into. I have liked a lot of them, but also there have been some that I don't like, and I know I definitely don't want to do, so that has really helped with that. I want to talk a little bit about my journey in PR. So my first internship I did with ABC7, and I really loved this internship. I was actually quite desperate for an internship last year, and when I was applying to this internship, I emailed the guy one day, and he was it was in the middle of May, so about a year ago, and he said, I'm pretty much done wrapping up my interviews. If you want to even be considered, you need to send something in immediately. So I sent something in, and the next morning he interviewed me, and he hired me, and I was so surprised because I got an internship in one day, and I was very desperate, but God came through and he provided this internship for me, and I absolutely loved working with ABC7. It really gave me the journalism perspective, working on the other side of PR and seeing how the media works. What do they want? And what I learned through that is they work on deadline. You know, you don't mess with them. Like, they want their stuff now, and if you don't give it to them, they'll say what they want. So you have to really work with them well. And as a PR professional, that gave me insight on how to work with the media. What do they want? When do they want it? How they work. And so I loved that internship. I was also able to write for their web and write for social media, write scripts, go out with reporters. I did a lot of work there. They gave you a lot of on-hands experience, which was amazing, and I really enjoyed that internship. The next internship I did was with Bear Company. I'm actually still interning there. There's a small publicity firm in Beverly Hills, and I have really, really enjoyed this. I've gotten more of the PR aspect. They do a lot of publicity, and he has great clients. They have Billabong, they have Jake Laser, who's a Fox NFL analyst. They have Misfit, which is a Fossil group. They're under Fossil. He has, let me think, Rock and Riley's. They have a bunch of different clients, and my boss is a low-key celebrity, so that's pretty cool. He used to be a professional surfer, so he's really laid back, and I have really enjoyed this internship because he's so nice, and he's been really great to work with, and I've gotten a great experience with that and learning more about publicity and PR work. And then the last internship I'm doing is with Biola University. I'm still interning with them as well, with UCM, University Communications and Marketing. And this has been particularly, I have to admit, my least favorite out of the three. But I have gained valuable experience. It has furthered my writing skills a lot because I write articles all the time for their website, and so it has really furthered my writing skills. But I have noticed, like, oh, maybe this is not somewhere I want to be in PR, so that has been a good thing about doing this internship, is seeing what I've liked and what I haven't liked. And I've really liked ABC7, the journalism side, and then Bear, more of the publicity, small, like, agency type work. But Biola, higher education, hasn't really been something I've enjoyed all that much. And so a verse that comes to mind, because my story has led me here, I thought that I was destined to be at New Mexico State University. And a verse that comes to mind is Proverbs 16:9. It says, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." And oftentimes we think we have our plans set in stone. And I thought that I had my plans set in stone, and God redirected my life. I did not expect to be here. And both of my siblings actually graduated from New Mexico State, so I just thought that I was going to follow in their footsteps, and that's what I was going to do. And God changed my life around, and I came here to find a new beginning, to run away from everything that had happened to me in high school and that first year of college. And so I came here to find a new beginning. And a story that comes to mind is Moses. And I really love Moses because he reminds me a little bit about me. He ran away from Egypt, and he, after killing a man, he runs away into the wilderness. And God calls him through a burning bush. And he basically says to the Lord, "I can't go to Pharaoh. I can't do this. I am not a man of eloquent words." And oh, how often I have found myself saying the same thing. I can't do PR. I'm not confident. I'm not extroverted enough. I'm not this or that. And yet God has called me here, and I have no clue why. And just like Moses, you know, he was like, "I can't speak. I mean, I hate public speaking, and yet I'm up here doing it." And I love the Lord's response to Moses. He says to him, "Who has made man's mouth? Who makes him mute or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall say, what you shall speak." And I think that is absolutely amazing. God basically tells Moses, like, don't you think I'm capable? Do you think that I'm not enough? Don't you think that if I've made, you know, even the mute, can't I make him speak? You know, and we see that in the miracles of Jesus. He made the dumb speak. He opened the eyes of the blind. And God is able to do far beyond what we can imagine. Another reason why I love Moses is because he's an advocate. And I truly do believe that public relations is a means of influence through advocacy. And I think that public relations is biblical. And I honestly did not think that you could really see public relations in the Bible, but after studying public relations, I have seen it throughout the Bible because it is advocacy. You're building relationships between your publics and their organizations, and throughout the Bible, that's what happens throughout the whole time. Moses advocates between Israel and the Pharaoh, and after that, 40 years in the wilderness, he advocates between Israel and God. And every time that God wants to destroy Israel, Moses comes and prays, and the Lord finds favor in Moses. And I think that's such a beautiful example of PR, because that's what we do. And throughout the whole Bible, the prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, all of the prophets, they advocated between Israel or Judah and God. And in the New Testament, the greatest example that we have of PR or advocacy is Jesus. In 1 John, it says that if any of us sins, we have a great advocate. And that is so wonderful to know that we have an advocate who builds mutually beneficial relationships. You know, he's the one who's between us and God. And if it weren't for Jesus, we would not have access to God. And that is a beautiful example of advocacy. And I truly believe that PRSA's definition can really be summed up: advocacy, because that is what it is. To leave off with a quote with John Piper, I don't know where I'm going with PR, like I said, and my future seems very unknown and uncertain, and that worries me a lot. I'm getting married, and I don't really know if I'm going to get a job straight out of college, and I am very worried about that, and I'm worried about things, but God has provided for me, and He has led me here. He provided for me here at Biola, which I never expected. He brought me to PR, and He has provided internships for me in different fields and in really great, awesome places, and I did not expect that at all. And so a quote by John Piper that says, "Darkness comes. In the middle of it, the future looks blank. The temptation to quit is huge. Don't. You are in good company. You will argue with yourself that there is no way forward. But with God, nothing is impossible. He has more ropes and ladders and tunnels out of pits than you can conceive. Wait, pray without ceasing, and hope." I have had the urge to quit many times. I have lacked confidence in this industry, and yet I'm still here and I haven't quit, even though I've wanted to at times. And with God, nothing is impossible, just like nothing was impossible for Him to use Moses, and He used him greatly. And if I simply wait, pray, and hope, God will come through and He will provide for me in the future. And although my future is unknown, He will provide, and for that I'm very grateful. And so I want to encourage those of you who don't know where you're going with your future. If you're uncertain, I have often felt like I'm the only person who doesn't know what they want to do with their future, and I know that that's not true. And it seems like everybody has their life together except me. But I know that that is not true. Many of us are found in the same place. And so I want to encourage you to wait, pray, and hope. Thank you so much for being here.